Hello, everybody. Welcome to Pearls of Wisdom. Today with Suchada, Navasit, and Katharina, and we have a topic about how to make things better.
Okay, I'll start. We were all taught to be like strong and always we have to be self-dependent, or give hands or help those who in need or even to help make things better. This idea imprinted in like for me example, I was imprinted with this idea maybe since many past life. And I found that I did not dare to ask for help or cry out for any aid or assistance. It was kind of automatically reaction that I would stubbornly help myself first. And I never even thought that I could ask for a hand to help me to ease up the situation. But anyhow, when I'm in some circumstances that I need someone kindness, I would get them even without asking. And it surprised me that the person who had me the kindness was the least expected one, the one whom I used to hate. Okay, now I don't hate her anymore, but you know. So my question is, what is the lesson here? That I receive help from the one whom I'm least expected. Why? From the one who I expected, they didn't show the same kindness to me.
Well, in generally, that's because of the expectation. Because certain people you expect to do something for you, and expectations usually never work out. Now, let's go back. Already, we have expectations in our life that the people that are close to us are always those who are helping us. But on the other hand, think about it, those people who really did help you, you don't know maybe very well or you don't like, but they have something to mirror you. Why do you don't like them?
Mm,
Because they mirror something to you that you don't like about yourself.
mm,
My experience is that there are people in my life that suddenly come into my life and oh my God, what is happening here? And this is because there is a lesson I have not learned yet. When we look at it, it's difficult, it's not really that life is just all about learning, learning, learning. We know a lot, and you mentioned also about past lives. So these people who are coming into our life to help us are very often not those that we expected because of the karmic contract we have with them. Let's put it that way. I told you that little story before about the angel that wanted to come down and incarnate on planet Earth. And then God said to the angel, well, you can go, you can incarnate, but you have to choose an agenda. You cannot just drop there with nothing. And you go there to have an experience. So what, say, for example, what virtue would you like to learn? And then the little angel went back and looked at many different. I want to learn love. I want to learn compassion. I want to learn forgiveness. I want to learn whatever. And then suddenly they said, oh, wow, forgiveness. This is really a big one. I want to go down there and learn forgiveness. And then she went back to God and asked, can I go and learn forgiveness? And then God says, yeah, of course. But you have to bring somebody with you who teach you forgiveness.
mm,
So the little angel went there again, and then asked all the friends and everybody, would you come down to me? And they said, oh, no, not really. I don't want to do that. And then finally her best friend said, okay, look, I'm coming with you, but will you remember when I hurt you that I am your best friend? Now, see, this is also the thing why when people have a different agenda, when you look around, you receive assistance from somebody you did not expect it. That is the same story. We have many, many people in our lives who are just like, okay, they are good friends, whatever, but they are not our lessons. They very often don't give us something that we can deeply inside of us understand. These are just the companions to go along. But when it comes to the really deep lessons, to the really, and again, forgiveness is one of them. This is a very difficult lesson that most people don't even want to look at. So if you get help from somebody you completely even don't like, the lesson here is that you do not get the help from the people where you have expectations, but from others. And then it automatically comes into that you start to like the person, that kind of whatever you didn't like about the person, that forgiveness, that means you have preconceived ideas about the person and you let them go because maybe this person, why don't you like it? Because the person maybe acts different than you do, has a different belief than you do, and many things like that that is different in our life. Then generally everything what is not like we are can create fear within us, can create how to say that the best, yeah, everything what we don't know creates fear. And it's always fear based. If you don't like somebody, you don't trust somebody, you don't like somebody, and from that point onwards, the people that help you, that you do not expect to help you because you have no expectations towards these people, then you can shift in your consciousness to learn that it's not always as you expect it to be, and that you can build down, stop to having expectations what others are supposed to be or to do for you, and that will shift your whole life, because the less expectations you have, the more you receive.
Mm.
When I received her kindness, it it I was surprised, and then I would feel somehow guilty a little bit, that, oh, I didn't expect this, and I felt a little bit guilt on my
Because you
period.
didn't like her.
Yeah.
My experience is also, I had people I didn't like, but when I get to know them, I started to like them.
Mm.
I think knowing is a lot. You cannot love anything that you don't know. I mean, in the way that we meet people, when we don't know them, we might fall in love, but this is just an emotional or a sexual attraction or something that we say falling in love. But we are going a much further step that we talk about that love that is friendship, which is actually for us mostly more important than the eros love of falling in love, because friendship can hold much longer. And the more you actually know a person, the more you understand the person, the more automatically love can grow within you. And then you can move beyond all the negative feelings. And then you don't have the expectation that this person has to do something for you. But let's go back to the main topic about being strong all the time and do not expect others to help you. That is a very, very important topic in everybody's life who is not a victim. There are people who come in, they are in this lifetime, they have the victim consciousness and they ask help all the time from everybody. They cannot do anything themselves. They cannot take one step forward without asking others for help. And then are those who are more self-reliant. They can do things by themselves. And this is like, we can also say again, the older souls that have more experience and are stronger people. They do not ask for help. And especially, again, they would expect it from the people around them, but it's 90% like that, that the help comes from somewhere you've never expected it to come. And again, just look at it afterwards. In the beginning, you might not be able to understand, but when you look back afterwards, then you can really see that you kind of had a contract or what is the agreement with that person before you even come, that at one point when you meet, you're going to help each other. And I think that's the beauty about life. That's the beauty about having a new experience and not always staying in the same circles. That's then when your circle expands and people that before you had no affinity or you didn't like suddenly have a place in your life. And you open yourself up through that to get to know somebody else or to help. No, not to help, but to ask for what you need.
But I find sometimes it's so, can I say, the self-dependent feeling is so strong that they would feel sometimes like a loser if asked for help, or being embarrassed if someone give you a hand, or feel shame, or feel like I'm that useless that someone needs to help me. So, but
Well, I think nobody can ever do things alone all the time, you know. We always have to come to the point that we need help from others. That's just in the nature of humanity. We talked about being alone. This is also a situation that is not completely natural. So we need help from others. I mean, just look very simple physically. There are certain things you can do and certain things you cannot do. You need 2, 3, 4 people to help, like to lift something heavy. And this goes, and it's not the weakness to ask if you need to have something to lift up very heavy, to help, ask for help. And why should it emotionally, mentally be different? First of all, we cannot know everything, you know. Then we really need a lifetime for a couple hundred years to get to know everything. But still, physically, we would not have the strength to do everything, you know.
I think because sometimes the self-ego is so strong that they don't want to ask for help, or they don't accept receive help or kindness.
I don't know if this is just the ego. It's difficult. It's difficult to say because there are like, again, we have the victims. They ask for help all the times, and then we have those people who are stronger, who are moving forward, who don't want to ask for help. But I think it's a strength to ask for help, to kind of be able to see yourself. What can you do yourself, and what can you do not? So I think even it's showing strength when you are able to ask for help. And it might be it is an ego topic, looking at I can do everything myself. No, you can't. And again, maybe that has also something to do with the whole shift of consciousness in the moment, that we are very insecure can we ask or can we not? Because we don't really trust people anymore. I see that very often, that what's going on, that people are not able to rely on each other anymore, because yeah, the situation is very difficult in the moment. And I also try to do things myself if I can. It's a very difficult question what you have here.
I think that's one thing that to ask or not to ask for help. I think it's kind of maybe the experience that we have to test our own capability.
Yeah, to see what you're able to, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Most people, I guess in the moment also what is happening, most people are not knowing anymore what really to do. They are kind of lost in that situation.
Mm. Yeah, true.
Yes, I agree.
So what can we do? What is it what we really can do? Who can we really help? Ask for help. And again, we come to the same topic as we've been talking before. There is our upstairs teams that we can ask for help. And again, we can ask them to bring the right people into our lives that help us whatever we need to. And very often, these are not the people you expect to help. That's also my experience. The people that you expect to help or expect to be there for you, they will not be here because of your expectation. We talked about expectations once before, I remember. And, you know, especially also when you're close together, family, friends, very close friends, then you presume that the other person knows you and knows your needs. But this very often is not the case, because primary, every person is focused on their own needs and project. So when I have a need and I project this need that another person should know my need, that it's just a projection of me, but has nothing to do with the other person. It's just like a mirror. So I think this one is one of the biggest problem, and we have to voice, to say what we need, because we cannot expect anybody else to know what we need if we don't say so. And again, what you said in the beginning, there comes the ego. Are you, again, look at it as a weakness if you ask for help? This is stupid, because nobody can know everything. So everybody needs to ask for help once in a while. Or is it like the victim person who asks for help all the time? But then it's again an ego topic, because they cannot stand up for themselves. So I think it's also a fine line in between what we are doing. If it's just whining and asking for help all the time, or is it genuine, a moment that you cannot handle something yourself?
And how can we balance the yin yang of receiving and giving? Would there be a formula?
There are no formulas really.
Or,
But
or is there any emotion feeling that can tell, like, okay, maybe this is too much or this is not enough?
well, see, that has something to do with your self-esteem. Once you have a lack of self-esteem, you will be insecure. If you have a healthy self-esteem, there are no questions, because it's just like very objective. This is something I cannot do myself. Okay, I have to ask for help. But people who never know really what should they do and are completely insecure in their life, this has something to do with lack of self-confidence. And again, this lack of self-confidence is connected with lack of connection to your personal higher self, to the divine within, because once you are connected with your divine source, then you have already guidance from this aspect. And I just love the comparison. You remember the car and the helicopter, right? So the morning you get up, it means this driver goes in the car. That means your consciousness comes back into your body, and you get ready for your day. You get into that car, into the vessel that goes with you through the day. And then now again, you lose the sample of the car. So we head off, and then you turn on the radio, and the radio has this connection with the helicopter up there. So you can ask in the morning, okay, guys up there, how does it look? Which road should I take to be clear of all the traffic jams and whatever? So compared to us, it's like when you get up in the morning, when you wake up, mean your consciousness coming back into this body, you can connect with your higher self and say, my divine self, my upstairs team, spirit within, whatever you want to call it. Okay, I'm here back in the body. Can you please guide me through the day? And then you have guidance, and then you know exactly what you have to do. So people who don't know that, they are like really literally in a car. They cannot see what's behind the next curve. But once you're connected to the helicopter who has the oversight, you have a decent guiding and a guidance, and you know exactly the moment when you need help, that this is something you cannot do yourself. And again, this is the only formula we have in a way. Once you are connected with the higher aspect of self, you have enough self-confidence that you know exactly when you need help and what you can do alone. And again, remember, we all been the angel who had asked, in a way, God at that time to come down to experience something. So all the people around us are here to help us for that experience. And it's mostly that the surprise is that those people we expected the least to do something for us, to help us or whatever, are the ones jumping in, because we don't focus on them because of the expectations that we have. And the expectations, again, is brainwash, is connected with family, education, and so on. You are told who you should expect to help you. But if you go by intuition and higher self and inspiration, the path is different. Difficult topic, right? But it's good. It's we need people in our life to help us to make things better, and we have to be willing also to help to others to make the situation for them make it better. And I think this is anyway what is waking up in the moment, that we come to the point again to help each other. And you can see that new communities are starting to show up. People are tired of what is happening outside, and they gather and start to make alternative ways of living in many different kinds. And that's the good news.
Yeah.
So again, the only solution also here is connect to the helicopter in the morning and have your guidance, and then you know exactly when you need to ask for help and what you can do for yourself alone.
I see.
Our mission is to be strong anyway. Strong from the inside.
Yeah, but you know, what is strong can break. You know, what is hard can break. So you don't have to be strong all the time. You still have to be flexible. We have to, it's kind of to find that middle way, you know, this is like in the Buddhist tradition, like the middle way, you know, don't go into the extremes. Find that middle way. That is that Libra, that balance topic. Find to balance things in your life. I think this is the best solution.
Mm-hmm.
And if you are in doubt, then just ask.
Mm-hmm.
It happens very often that, like also with my recent experience with that worker, you know, I was thinking I can make this working that way, but now I see what I did not see before. And that's, again, you don't know what you don't know. So I see that about that job, that there was something that was just not acceptable for the say psyche or the Thai consciousness of this kind of people that do this kind of work. So I have to also completely change how I look at the situation.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So it's sometimes really good when you have this kind of experience and you look at the situation, like this guy being here and sleeping here alone. This is not what somebody wants to be alone in the evening. They want to be with family, with friends, with whatever. And before, with the whole area here we had with staff house, and we had many people living here, so they were together. But now the situation has changed. So this is not the similar situation anymore. So I have to change my way of approach. So when things don't work out, even if it was very disappointing, you know, but again, I have to figure out another way how to do it. And that's in life always like this. You don't have to be always strong, but whatever happened as an experience, if you can turn it around and learn your lesson out of this experience, you can start an approach from a different side. You know what I mean?
So we have to change the perspective.
Yeah. So again, it's good to ask sometimes for help, and if it doesn't work, then you have to reconsider how you ask or whatever you do, because then you have a chance to turn it around.
Yeah. And sometimes when we receive the help from someone, not copy paste for me. I think we have to like reconsider the help that they, you know what I mean, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's about being flexible. It's about being aligned to the situation, to understand also the other side. Now, again, when we have expectation, that is a projection from ourselves, like we would do it, for example. But the other person has a complete different consciousness level, a different approach. So our expectation cannot work out. So the best is to have no expectations and to be open to outcome, whatever happen. And do also, especially people we don't know, or people, even, again, as you said, you even hated the person. You probably not hated, just dislike. But once we start to understand that this also, the dislike, is a projection of ourself, of something we don't understand about that person, the moment you get to know the person, you automatically start to like it. Or if you do not like the person, if there is a complete different consciousness level, you also have no affinity anymore. That one person is here and one person is here. You don't even gather or have anything in common.
Oh,
But generally, I recommend you that when you have people in your life you really don't like, but they are near you all the time, that they still have a lesson for you.
It means that they challenge us.
Yeah, these are the teachers that are in our life, maybe to learn understanding, to learn compassion, to learn wisdom. You can tell your upstairs team today, I want a lesson wisdom, and then you will see you will have a lot of the opposite that encounters you, so that you can practice wisdom. Or if you want to learn one day to be patient, then everything is impatient around you, so that you have the chance to learn to be patient. It's just like that. Everything.
Yeah. And if one day we pass, if one day we pass that exam, and then we will do like a step up to the another exam, right?
Yeah.
Another experience.
Yeah, exactly.
With another person.
Yeah. With another situation, with another person, until you get it, and then it doesn't matter who it is or what situation it is, you recognize it. Oh, that's the same topic again.
Okay.
And then you can move on, you can go forward, and then you know exactly when it's not stubbornness sometimes not to ask, but you know deep inside that you can do it yourself. Then try. And then, trial and error, we can learn a lot if we try things. Or those who are not so strong, who ask all the time, others, they might not be able to really make experience for themselves.
So, for example, for the couples, for me and Suchada, I always ask help from her. You know what? So it means that I'm not past the I have not passed the exam yet, because always ask for help, and she always I think my request is challenge her emotion.
Yeah, probably. I can imagine. Yeah. Well, but you still learn something, I mean, in a relationship, it's very often that we have to ask, and this is why we are together in a relationship, to support each other, to help each other to grow. And I'm 100% sure you don't ask everything. That's what you do yourself, right?
Almost everything.
We ask everything.
99%.
Okay, so Suchada, it's time for you to say, I'm not going to help you, do it yourself.
Yes, that's what I did. And now I tell him, stop asking, just do it.
Yeah, exactly.
Grow up.
You have to find also here, we have to find the balance. It's a very little, very thin line. It's like walking on top of the mountain, that you don't fall on one side. It's a thin line to find out. But deep inside of you, when it's just like lazy asking because you're too lazy to do the work yourself, or if it's genuine asking something you don't know yourself. Yeah, I know some of it. I can see that.
Do you know?
Yeah, exactly. Well, do that. You will see that when you are connected with your helicopter again, that you need much less ask others. And when you ask, it has nothing to do with stubbornness or weakness or whatever, because it's genuine that you need an expertise or an input from somebody else to move forward.
I see.
Right? Okay, so I think that's it, right? Or is there anything else? No, I think we have that. Okay, so thank you for the question. It was interesting. Thank you for the listeners to give me a thumbs up for our video if you like it. And we come back with another question. Bye-bye, everybody.